Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. The video is going to be a collection of DIYs that I have done. They are spooky, creepy, kind of in a Morticia's house kind of vibe, so I'm really hoping that you enjoy the video. So let's get into it. Starting off, I took this frame from Dollar Tree and this hand that I got from Dollar Tree, and you can use it for wreaths, but I thought I would use it for something different. I got these LED candles from Dollar Tree, and I got this fishing wire from a hardware store. I'm gonna take off the pick that comes on the hand. And I'm going to put batteries inside of the LED candle because I want to make sure that it works. I'm going to use the glue gun to glue the hand to the middle of the frame. And I had to use a lot of glue for this because I really wanted it to stick. It is made out of styrofoam and the frame backboard is made out of like a poster board. So I wanted to make sure it had a really good adhesion. I stuck it down, I waited for a couple of seconds, and then I left it to the side to dry for a little bit to ensure that I got a really good bond. I did this to another frame because I made two of these because I wanted to put them on either side of a wall to make them into a wall sconce. Once they were dry, I flipped the frames upside down and I'm gonna glue the fishing wire into the hand or onto the hand. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when you flip it over and you glue the candle, it's gonna make it look as if the candle is floating by the hand, and that is the illusion that I am going for. It is a spooky, scary, creepy kind of vibe this year, and I am here for it. So I took the wire and I wrapped it around the candle, and once I got it tight enough, I glued the wire to the candle. I made sure to put a knot around the wire and the candle just to ensure that it would stay. The glue solidified it so I know it's not going to move or go anywhere. Once I glued it down, I had to hold it for a couple seconds to ensure that the glue dried. I cut off the excess wire. And I used the glue gun to create like candle wax drippings along the lit portion of the candle, and I made sure that I tried to make it as realistic as possible. I know that this is made out of plastic, but you know, I wanted to give it as real of a look as I possibly could. So I just played around with the dripping style and the hot glue just to figure out how I wanted it to look. How I wanted to layer some of the glue. Once everything is dried, this is how they turned out. I think these are absolutely amazing. I think they give off such a creepy vibe and I love it. It's really going for that haunted mansion ghost vibe that I'm decorating my house with this year. I absolutely loved the way that these turned out. So on to the next craft. This one was a love-hate craft. So I got this hand from Dollarama and I got this glass orb from a thrift store. So the idea behind it was I was going to put the lights inside of the orb and I was going to make it glow. The only issue that I had with this was for some reason the balance of the hand was off, so I wasn't able to actually get it to stay. And I added this into the video because it was a DIY that I did create. However, it ended up breaking. It fell on the floor and the orb completely shattered. So this is the full extent of what you'll see of this DIY in the video. I didn't get a chance to grab B-roll shots for it because it had broken. My heart was broken, but let's move on to the next craft. So I got these plastic jack-o'-lantern from Dollar Tree, and I figured that I could make them into a light. So I clipped them together and I ended up poking a hole at the back of the jack-o'-lantern. I tried to poke the hole somewhere that it wouldn't interfere with the jack-o'-lantern sitting on the shelf or the surface. So I used my hot glue gun, I burned a hole into the back of it. If you are going to do this, please make sure that you are doing it in a well-ventilated area. You do not want to inhale plastic fumes. It is not good for you. But once I ended up poking the hole with the glue gun, I ended up feeding through the fairy lights into the back of the jack-o'-lantern. I could have went with something a little shorter, but I just used what I had on hand. I picked up these fairy lights off of Amazon and I absolutely love them because they come with a remote. So you don't actually have to press the button on the back if you don't want to. The remote makes it a little bit more convenient, especially if you want to place these in high places. So it ended up looking like this. And then I thought, you know what, it kind of looks a little bland. I want to give it a little bit more character. So I went in with some black paint and I colored in the eyes, the nose, and the mouth with the black paint. I had to do a couple of layers for this, but that was okay because I think the final result turned out amazing. So I took an angled brush and I just started to kind of trace it out. I didn't want to oversaturate or overline the mouth. I wanted to stay within the curves. This would be great to give as gifts if you're having a Halloween party. You could fill it with candy, you could fill it with socks, or include it in a boo basket with socks and candy, treats, maybe a bath bomb. Honestly, the sky's the limit with this, but I actually love this product and I hope Dollar Tree continues to bring it back every year. DIY is going to be a Medusa inspired candle holder. So I picked up these snakes from Amazon and I picked up this candle holder from Dollarama. It was $3 and I'm just going to paint the snakes gold and black. I'm not too sure at this point what color I decided to go with, but I ended up going with the gold because I felt like it was a really good contrast to the black candle holder already. I glued them with some Gorilla Glue Super Glue Gel and they stayed very well. And I just made sure to glue it at any point that the snake was going to touch the candle holder in more of a natural way. Once I did that and I glued everything down, that was really the end of this DIY project. It was super easy and I think it gives that Morticia vibe to the candle holder. I'm really going for a grungy Addams Family witch's garden kind of look this year, and I absolutely love the way that these turned out. Moving on to our next DIY, I was able to pick up these skull from Dollarama. I picked up 3 of these. They were $5 each, and I picked up this bowl as well from Dollarama. You can use any bowl from any dollar store, just something that's big enough to hold candy in. I also got these balloon dots, and I will show you what I will do with them in a moment. I just wanted to use them because I didn't want the bowl to be on top and it be permanent. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue the skulls together, and I'm gonna make sure that I use this as a base. I want to ensure that I am using a lot of hot glue because I don't want this to fall apart. So if it happens to be that you do decide to recreate this DIY, just make sure that you're using really strong glue to adhere it together. Once I glued this together, I figured I needed to move this to the floor. I used the balloon dots on top of the skulls just to be able to stick the bowl down. I didn't want this to be a permanent adhesion because I want to be able to take this apart in order to store it away for the season. So I used the balloon dots and they stuck very well. I got the bowl and I placed the bowl on top. And now I have a beautiful candy bowl holder. This is how the DIY turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope that you enjoyed these videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys all in the next one.